Alright, so today I'm going to be doing the driver's side motor mount on this 2017 GMC Yukon. It seems like GM still can't get the mounts right on these full-size GM trucks, because even on the 2007 through 13, 14-ish, all the mounts would go bad, especially on the SUVs. And 9 times out of 10, it's only the driver's side. From how the motor rotates when you accelerate, it tends to do this, lift up on the driver's side, and that's the one that will give before the passenger side does. So yeah, same thing on these. I think it's like 14-ish up to like 20, even the 2020s are the same. No, maybe 2019. I don't know. Just this newer body style, exact same problems. So let's go ahead and get to it and change out that mount. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is get to these 3 15mm bolts that are up top. It kind of forms like a little bit of a triangle. There's one. You can't see that at all. So here's a closer look at those 315s. The first one's going to be right here. Second one is right there. And the third one, it's kind of hiding back in the shadows, is down there. And the alignment dial I was telling you about is, it's not really important, but it's back here. Basically, it allows you to unbolt this and not worry about the motor shifting or moving or anything like that. So let me go ahead and get those off with my impact, and we'll go underneath the truck. Okay, here we go. That's probably the hardest of the three. The one in the back, I did that one first. Let's go ahead and get this stuff out of here and fish that. Yeah, here we go. Here's that back 15 mil. That's probably the trickiest one. None of them are really tricky. It's pretty much a straight shot. I didn't even need a swivel. I'm just using a what's this? Probably a foot long, 1/2 inch extension, but the tip of it does have like a, what do you call this? Like a ball design, to where the socket does have a little bit of wiggle room. It's not necessarily a swivel, but it does allow it to have a little bit of movement. It seems to do the trick for me. And for the most part, it's just straight shots to those 315s. Let me go ahead and get this one. Alright. That should be, yeah, it's the middle 15. Got that sucker out. Now for the easiest one that I saved for last. It's gonna be the one in the very front of the motor. Right here. It's easier if you put the extension under the steering shaft. It gives you a pretty straight shot, like I said. Let me gotta hold that in place. Impact on there. Be careful not to break. This is actually a plug that goes to the top of the strut. Be careful with that. That is a very expensive strut. You don't want to mess that up. Okay. There we go. That should be the third and final 15. Now after this, we can go ahead and lift the truck up and start working from underneath. And yeah, let's get on there and see what we got going on. So this is what we're looking at from underneath the truck. We've got 4 15s, just like the previous generation. We've got one here, here, and then somewhat up top. We've got one inside of this heat shield, up here and up here. I think for this, the best thing for this is going to be a 3/8 extension and a 3/8 socket, because typically they're not as thick as the 1/2 inch socket walls. Just that extra thickness would get in the way. Yeah, because I did try a 1/2 inch with the swivel, 1/2 inch socket, but it's too thick. Where's my 3/8 setup? Yeah, so here's my 3/8 extension and socket, and it seems like it's going to do the job a lot better. Before you undo the top section, it's probably a good time to go and support the engine. And I always get hate for this, but it has worked out every time, and I've never had a problem. What I do is I use a pole jack, and I lift the motor from right under the cat right here, and I just tilt it up until the cat bottoms out on the firewall. You've got about, on this one, about 1 inch before it actually touches until where the motor won't go up anymore. And that's what I do every time. Never had a problem. It's not like this is supporting the weight of the engine and trans in the entirety. I mean, there's a triangle of mounts. You've still got your passenger mount, you've still got your trans mount. All you're really doing is lifting it up to rotate. I mean, I could probably push this up by hand and get the mount to separate. It's not a lot of weight. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and get those bottom 415s loose with the motor supported the way it is and move on to the next step. All right, so once you get those 4 15mm bolts undone, they go through the mount into the block. It's kind of a pain. You're gonna have to rotate it, twist it, maybe bust some knuckles and cuss a little bit, but it will come out. I was thinking I was gonna have to undo the exhaust and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but it looks like it is just about ready to come out. So I thought, come on now. Yeah, it's like coming out sideways. Rotate it. Okay, there it goes. So yeah, this is actually the top of the mount. So I had to twist it, turn it, pull it out like that. It is a pain, but it is very possible. There we go. Wow, that was fun. Cool.
Holy shit! What happened?